Here, and this is Grimm's Comic Corner. Now I'm doing this special because I'm kind of actually going to tag the writer. Why is this important? Because I own a doll. Yeah, I'm a doll owner. 5 years, part of the doll community. So let's go through plastic and see what it says about sex dolls and all that, and I'll give you the truth of the matter and probably laugh my ass off at some of the exaggerations and all. But this is by Wagner, Hilliard, Martin, and Dukeshire. Oh, old Dukeshire. Plastic. This is the weirdest shit I've ever read. I love it. Robert Kirkman, creator of The Walking Dead. Too bad this comic is better than that fucking entire show. This is going on way too long, I think. Plastic. 12 gauge production. Plastic created by Doug Wagner and Daniel Hilliard. This was actually done pretty far back. There's no date on it. Well, leave it to Image to forget. Okay, written by Doug Wagner. I don't think it's Wagner. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's not going by Wagner. Doug Wagner, Daniel Hilliard, Andrew Robinson, cover by Laura Martin, or color by Laura Martin rather, letters by Ed Dukeshire, and we have Kevin Gardner, editor, and Eben Matthews, logo and book design for 12 Gauge Comics, which is Kevin Gardner, Doug Wagner, and Brian Stelfreeze. Okay, 12gaugecomics.com. 2017, so this isn't that old. There's only 5 issues, so we can get through them pretty quickly. Okay. 1 for Virginia. Virginia. Squeak, 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 squeak. Squeak, 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 squeak. Oh my goodness. Squeak, 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 squeak. Sweetie, slow down. I'm gonna. Smeek. What? Oh, don't worry about that. My mom rises and falls with the sun. And when that lady puts her head down, there's no waking her. Donuts? Clank. Well, there was a gas station a few miles back. Gas stations always have donuts. Your favorite? I don't know about that, honey. Not everyone enjoys cream filled. Zit. Supplies? That's brilliant. It ain't easy finding out of the way stores nowadays, that's for sure. Places where people don't pry. Say! Oh, look at that, a little one. We better clean you up first. I know how you like to look nice around other people. So, what do we need? What do we need? Definitely jelly. No, silly. Petroleum. Add a new cleaning brush to the list. Who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky and they'll have some of those soft ones you like so much. Cluck! Virginia! Again? Cha-chingle! How's it hanging? Fine. Do you have donuts? Ain't the freshest, mind you, but we got the only ones for 20 miles. And them's this morning's donuts. So they're $5 a box no matter what you get. That seems fair. Donuts. Check. Hydration. What the hell is that? It's like, it's got a fish on it. It probably doesn't taste that good. Hydration. Check. Jelly. Petroleum. Check. Now, this is actually useful. Let me tell you what jelly petroleum is actually used for in dog care. Now, some dolls, they have the skin that doesn't need to be powdered. Like there's a certain blend of TPE that doesn't have to be powdered. But usually after you powder, you wait for the powder. Before you powder them, you put on the petroleum jelly. The reason why is it's very good for the material. You actually kind of put it all around her body, especially parts that you're going to be using a lot, whether you're having sex or not. Just moving it around, like parts of the doll they're going to be like more exposed to certain things. You want to make sure that the material stays fresh and especially around the face area. You don't want it to dry out. So you definitely put petroleum jelly in there, and any kind of Vaseline, anything like that you buy, really cheap. It doesn't matter what it is, but that'll work. And For the powder, I use cornstarch. Now, I've never had any problems with cornstarch. Some people use baby powder. I don't use baby powder. I use cornstarch. So I use that, and a lot of dolls you don't have to do that now, but I still recommend using the petroleum jelly, even if you have that skin the material that doesn't need to be powdered. You still need to keep it fresh with the petroleum jelly. So that's really the only reason you need petroleum jelly. Waterproof matches, check. Cleaning brush. Sir, do you have any other cleaning brushes? Maybe something softer? Nope, that'd be it. Ooh, those bristles. I could use one of those 5-gallon gas cans you got outside and fill it up, too. No problemo, boss. Victor, credit card machine takes its sweet-ass time approving charges. Good news is I just finished putting the latest magazines out. Read whatever you like. You can even open up some of them bag ones if you want. I don't mind a bit. If and this cheap-ass store owner won't buy a new CC machine. Look at all the missing people. I figured the customers got a right to keep themselves entertained while they wait. Well, I'll be damned. Hey, buddy, purchase approved. Love and travel, Rome. Take your sweetheart to the new city of love. Hey, Victor, you paying attention? So sorry, lost in thought. Yeah, some of them magazines can do that to a fella. Paper or plastic? Excuse me? Would you like me to bag the stuff up in a paper bag or a plastic bag? Oh, plastic. Hey there, sweet tits. Anybody ever tell you your mouse looks like it could suck the stain off a 2x4? If you're game, I'm sporting the lumber. Ugh, crack. Thrack. Damn. You balloon fucking pervert. You broke my leg. Balloon. Scrunch. Jesus, man, what the fuck's wrong with you? Virginia doesn't like to hear the Lord's name in vain. Now, there are some doll owners that actually are religious. Yeah, this is going to shock you a little bit. So, yeah, I'm not sure how true this is in some parts of the community, but they like to, obviously, we do not have the kind of disillusion that this character does. But we do like to have a sort of personality for the doll. It makes it a little more interesting than just, you know, a piece of plastic modeled as a human, a very lifelike human being. So, you know, guys get attached and they're basically like, you know, this is my partner. And if you're a very religious man, you don't like to hear the Lord's name in vain, which I definitely know people that are like that. You know, you'll say, well, hey, easy around my wife here, my partner here. You know, it's still hard to believe for some people, but yeah, that's how it is. Me, I don't give a shit. She's heard all the worst things and doesn't care either way, because I don't care. Doesn't bother any of us. Virginia doesn't like to hear the Lord's name in vain. Scrack, snack, pot. For the love of... Didn't I just say... Sip, crash! Damn, he ripped his ear off. Gah! Sweet tits, we just want to be left alone. Garful! Garf, garf. Garful, garf, garf. Virginia! Sorry there, young fella. Kind of lost my cool for a second. Sorry, everybody. I didn't mean to, you know. Virginia, I'm sorry. I know I promised. What? You wanna already? Virginia, you're... Okay. Little bit of information here about the doll. First of all, there's one problem with the way the doll is drawn here. Okay. Go to the-doll-house.com. Tell me how many of the models you see with the mouth open. That's not a common feature anymore. Usually the dolls in China have their mouths closed. The teeth is an extra. You can usually buy those or you can have them point. I don't like the teeth, so I don't necessarily buy them. But some guys like their dolls to have teeth, and of course you can use FaceApp and just add teeth and a smile. Because FaceApp works great for dolls. But basically, yeah, this whole thing here, you won't see this on modern dolls. The eyes, they look okay. The wig is about fair. The way he's got her dressed is alright. I'm assuming she's silicone because she's not plastic. She's not like a blow up doll. Obviously, the blow up dolls are a little, you know. But she's certainly an older model than what we have now. Not even the real dolls do that, which is really bizarre why they left that open. Because, you know, you would have to have some sort of, like when you're drawing, you have to have a muse, so you have to look at the product. And this was 2017. So, obviously, a lot of the dolls I'm talking about, I bought my doll in 2018. A lot of the dolls that we're talking about here would not reflect this. This wouldn't be here. What you're seeing with the mouth open, that's not something you'll see in modern dolls. Particularly because the fact of it looks a little funny. Like, it looks weird. You know, when you got truckers and stuff like that, they have their dolls actually. There's actually a story of a guy, I remember hearing it. He's got a doll, you know, he drives, he drives his truck, you know, his big 18-wheeler, and she sits in the passenger side. And one time a police officer thought it was a hostage, and he told him, he said, get out of the truck, you know, and put your hands up. And of course he did. He puts his hands on the ground and everything else. It's like, it's just a doll, it's a doll, it's a doll. And finally, the police officers, they go in there, they look, they check everything out, and they have the weird look on their face, and they're like, we're sorry, sir, we'll let you go. And they said, yeah, it's a doll. And they were really shocked. They didn't know what to say. So they just got in their vehicle, and they drove off, and they said, you have a nice day. But yeah, it's becoming more common with truckers because they prefer them to the lounge lizards, or the lot lizards, rather, not the lounge lizards. That's Leisure Suit Larry. But the lot lizards, and a lot of truckers will have signs on their trucks now that have like it has like a lizard basically dressed up as a hooker, and it'll basically have you know, like the no smoking sign, the circle with a line through it. I still can't remember the name of that thing, but it's a crossed out, you know, no lot lizards thing on their trucks, so they make sure that the women don't approach them. And they have the dolls there. They're like, I don't need you, I've got a doll, you know, and that's usually all that's said. Incorrigible, just like your mother. I'm sorry, Father. Trey, you do remember your mother, don't you? Of course. What does she have to do with some old man embarrassing me? I gave your mother anything and everything she desired. Nothing was spared, no request denied, no wish unfulfilled. For all the love showered on her, it had no sway over her impulsive desires. Not a one. If not for untimely death. Untimely? You remind me so much of her. Emotional, undisciplined. Jim, if you wouldn't mind bringing this old man to see me. Alive? For the most part. Dad, please. Your impulses continue to embarrass this family. Impulses that need to be put in check. Put your hand on my desk. Virginia. I still keep wondering what kind of doll this is. I don't know if he's got her wearing something, or is she one of those which you get on eBay, which is one of the worst kind, by the way. It's the one where it's half blow up and half silicone. Yeah, don't get those. Those are absolute garbage. Virginia, I saw something curious last night. What would you think about taking a trip to Rome? It's supposedly the new city of love. We could see that Leaning Tower, maybe take a ride on one of those little boats in that water city. We could even find one of those tiny coastal towns, go where nobody would bother us. They don't even speak English over there. Ooh, that's one thing you don't do with a doll. I don't get his deal. Never mix food with silicone or TPE. Oh my god, you're basically asking bugs to like infest your doll. Yeah, it's not gonna be good. You don't want to put any food near a doll. You'll have ants on it and everything else. It's not good. Don't do it. No food around dolls. Of course, dear. I remember how you feel about flying. I was thinking we'd take a boat over. Think about it. One of those cozy cabins for two. Lock the door. Not leave for days. Mom's up. Just one more minute, sweetie. Please. Look at that food all over her face. Good Lord. Could you imagine the two of us in Italy of all places? How wonderful would that be? Yes, Mother. We'll be right there. Say. Crack. I kind of don't blame the guy. Gotta be easier than dealing with the real chicks. No shit. Lucky you decided to join us. Your girlfriend here says she sure does like a man in uniform. Let her go, please. Yeah, he's got a weird doll. Like, again, it's one of those it doesn't feel like it's a full silicone. It feels like, it's one of those weird, I mean, it did squeak. So, it was obviously a cheaper model. Yeah, look at the way the doll, the bottom half of the doll is. So this is definitely not... I wonder if they need to do an update. Oh, there's no way we're letting this go. Eyes. Not until we've had a taste or two. But that's just a little... It's not even that realistic looking. I could see if it was something from the Dollhouse, or Sexy Real Sex Dolls, or Silver Doll, or Game Lady Doll... You know, which is a company, by the way. It's not. I mean, it's just a company. It's not the manufacturer of the doll. I've found out that was a different company. But you look at the Tifa doll and the Aerith doll from Game Lady Doll, and you look at that, you were like, oh my god, we have really come far in these dolls. Like, you have spitting images of video game characters now, and it took a long time to do that right. So a lot of people want these dolls now. They're getting more popular than when this comic came out. Eyes. Not until we've... Okay, no, until we've had a taste or two, which is really weird on their part. Thomas, that's nasty. Thomas. Tongue. This fine piece of Virginia. Virginia? Yes, well, Virginia here must be a lively piece of ass to score such a virile young man like yourself. Probably more spirited than those teenage runaways your lame ass likes to pick up, Thomas. Well, she is a little old for my taste. Bait. Jim, Thomas, that will be enough. Jim. I apologize for my associate's behavior, Victor. May I call you Victor? Sure. I'm Thaddeus Bellevue, and I'm guessing you'd like to know what all this is about. We just want to be left alone. You sent 3 boys to the hospital last night. One of those boys happens to be my only son. Yeah, sorry about that. Victor, I confess to taking your wallet. I like to know a man's name before dealing with him. 10,000 square feet. I have to admit, Victor, I'm quite impressed. 10 years as a government spook. All 10 years classified. Then 2 years ago, over water. Poof! You disappeared without a trace. Normally, I'd kill a man for laying hands on my son. Lucky for you, it appears I'm in need of your skill set. Maybe we can come to terms that won't involve harm to you or your lovely lady. Propeller. Use your skill set for me one time, Victor. If you agree, I would be willing to overlook any ill will we may have had between us. I'd even promise to keep Virginia safe until you return. East. Seems fair. Anything for Virginia. Thank you for being reasonable, Victor. Ronk! Pratchett House. If they see the sun rise, Virginia doesn't. For Virginia. Two, nothing a little plastic can't fix. Uh-oh. You know, fair warning, don't kill anybody for your doll or for some kind of weird... Well, maybe, I don't know, it's like a weird hitman type guy. He'll probably kill you, like, so... I don't know, it's a weird situation. Do you have, like, 100%... like authenticity that you'll be okay, that you won't be prisoned or anything like that? I mean, because you're gonna die. So I mean, if you don't do it and there's a chance you survive, you might want to take the chance. But if you do it and there's a chance you survive, you probably want to do it. But if you don't do it and you die, then you'll probably want to do it because you'll be able to survive. And most people just don't want to fucking be shot and killed because they failed to obey the instructions of... That's just a really hard choice in general, you know? It depends on how much you love life. If you're not really loving life, you're like, you know what? Yeah, just go ahead and take me out. That's fine. But some people are like, you know, I want to keep living as long as I don't go to jail for the rest of my life for doing this. But he is kind of crazy. He just killed a whole bunch of people, so I guess he's not too fucking worried about it, right? Doesn't think logically. He thinks like, oh, well, let's just... It's for my doll, which is really bad behavior that I don't encourage, and neither does the doll community. Nope, don't do what this guy does. Ooh, that's a hacksaw, too. Good God. He's been in there for over an hour now. Surely it won't be much longer. Yes, as soon as I confirm he's fulfilled his contract. What the? I see him now. I'll contact you for the rest of the payment as scheduled. The sheriff? Virginia? Are we talking about the state? The sheriff and her family have been taken care of. Oh, good. You were in there for quite some time. I was beginning to worry something had gone askew. Say, who's your friend? My friend? LaCroix, according to his name tag. Partner? Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. Oh, you're serious. No, he's not my partner, you see, my client. Bellevue? Yeah, Bellevue needed this guy out of the way just as much as the sheriff. After you completed your end of the bargain, well, I'm gonna stage it so it looks like the deputy here walked in on you. You two shot it out and the deputy here dies a hero. Any connection back to my client will have been removed. Sorry, it's part of the job. So you're one of Bellevue's men? No, private contractor. Not from around here. No. You? Nope. Then we're in the same boat. It will make things easier. Ah, there he goes. Yep. Kinda had to do that. I mean, because that dude was going to kill him. You saw the gun, right? Totally saw the gun? Okay. Didn't have a choice. He would have been killed. I mean, it's a bad situation in the first place. Pack, 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 pack. This guy's the worst fucking luck. I mean, this all started because they were outside of a gas station and some guys, it just happens to be the fucking son of this rich fucking mafioso dude. Like, that would happen at one of every I don't know, 1 zillion chances that the one guy at the gas station that you happen to knock out or beat up pretty bad. Oh, that was my son, and I'm very powerful. Yeah, sure. That happens in movies and shows, but very rarely in fucking life. Sorry you had to see that. My Virginia wouldn't approve of such behavior. Who's Virginia? She's the love of my life. No, someone took her, forced me to do something wicked. This? No need to worry. It's nothing a little plastic can't fix. I've got tons of... You want a what? I can't tell you how much it means to me, having an officer of the law help me find Virginia. That's quite the burden off my mind. The last place I saw her? Ooh, been a long time since I'd done this. You mind? It was at some kind of warehouse. Well, maybe not a warehouse per se, more like some kind of sort of broken down old storage building. Shh, not so loud. Mother's asleep. Identifiable markings? Huh? Let's see, I remember a propeller off in one corner and a rickety sign that said bait on it. The weirdest part is, the whole thing seemed to be hanging over water. What was that? Screech, screech, screech. A boathouse. Of course. See? Good as new. Listen, before we go any further, I gotta tell you something. Being a deputy and all, you're probably not gonna like it. LaCroix, I know you're upset, but I didn't have a choice. I had to take his wallet. It's not like I can use Victor's credit cards anymore. Buttered waffle. It may not be official yet, but welcome, Sheriff Raskin. Thaddeus, we have a problem. It has a propeller in it and a dead snake. Emporium of Midnight Reads. Freezy bees. Okay. So what do? They have the strippers read you like poetry? That would be a change of pace. What do you mean his prints didn't match? Who have I been dealing with? Dead fish? Don't blame me. You should have waited for the results. And the guy burnt the sheriff's house to the ground. We've got nothing to work with. Oh, honey, just about every store in this town has a bait sign. Oh, Lord. Locate Mr. Tibbs and find me the name of this man. If you can't handle this deputy, I'll find someone who can. Dude, just head west for about 6 miles. It'll be on the left. Jim, I want you to keep an eye on Trey. Make sure my idiot son doesn't leave the house. And bring that doll to me. What do you call it? Virginia. Yep, that's the one. Hello? Anybody? Why us, Virginia? Why can't people just leave us alone? Once I'm done with those men that touched you, that violated you, where we're going, no one will ever bother us again. I promise. Now, there's something interesting about this. One thing I have noticed about some doll owners is that there are actually a lot of loner doll owners. Like, they just don't want to be bothered. They don't want to be fucked with. They don't want people to fuck with them. Some of them are former military, and some of them are, very serious about that. They have, plenty of weaponry and things, and they're trained, and they don't want to have to use anything. They just want to be left alone with their doll, and they're not going to do anything crazy like this gentleman, if not enacted upon. A lot of people just want to stay at home, chill, do their job, go home, spend time with their doll, go to bed. That's it. That's it. Like, nothing else. They've got all kinds of traumas and crazy things that happen, PTSD, all that kind of stuff, and the doll just is there. It doesn't talk. It doesn't cause any issues like that. Some people may cause drama. So basically, with people with PTSD, things like that, any kind of issue, doll's really good for that. And again, they don't want to be bothered. They just want to be left alone. Don't bother me. I'm just going to be that guy, and that's it. But then some people are more, open. They're like, oh yeah, I got a doll, and they're very social and they have all kinds of friends and all kinds of stuff like that. So it's not a big deal. But there's two kinds of people. When it comes to doll owning, there's the people that have all kinds of connections of friends, and then there's the people that's like, you know what, I just really don't want to be bothered. I'd rather just be alone to do my thing. I'm a very private person, and they have like again, they have a lot of issues, and they just don't want to be bothered. The lone wolf thing just kind of fits them. Huh? Look, there's a donut in it. It can't be older than a day. I gotta admit, LaCroix, you were right. One little clue sure can turn things around. Hope you're in the mood for donuts. Ha ha ha. Cops and donuts. That's a good one, LaCroix. Now, this is interesting. If you notice he's personified the police officer because he doesn't have the doll, which is interesting. That's not necessarily how doll owners are. Like, if the doll wasn't around, we're not just going to personify like a corpse or something. I don't think there's any of us that are that crazy that I know of. But I do know guys that personify other things. Not usually human or corpses or whatever. They wouldn't do that. But with the blood and all that, that's just really morbid. I couldn't see anything like that. I know there's the woman that has the zombie dolls, the little zombie child dolls. But she's married. And she does personify them, like as her children. So that's a little bizarre, right? But she's not doing anything crazy, like, chopping people up or anything. But some people, they personify their little fumos, which are like these little anime stuffed characters, really popular in Japan, Korea, places like that. Of course, people personify their pillows, and that's a little bizarre to me, but whatever, I can't really say too much. People personify a lot of things, depending on their personality and just who they are. So what can I say? It's people that personify their dildos, probably, and that is crazy. They do it with their cars. There's a woman in a fucking chandelier. It's crazy. I don't know what that says. Virginia! Sorry, did I miss anything? I'm famished. You? What's your preference? This is holes and more. Huh? No, I'm not judging. You're free to eat any kind you want. Wow, he's having full-on conversations with them. Cha-chingo! Oh my goodness. You look just like... Perfect timing, sir. I'm just finishing up a fresh batch. Now, this is super rare. For fresh, my Virginia would be delighted. Sounds like a woman after my own heart. I'm gonna need a dozen, 6 plain and six with icing and with white icing and sprinkles. My friend has a thing for those. I know a guy with the same problem. Embarrassing, am I right? Wait. I should get 2 from Virginia, just in case. Let's train out 2 plain for, well, what's your favorite? I just made some fresh pluote. Pluote? The fuck is that? I've had a lot of donuts in my life. I've never heard of that. Pluote filled in the back. I promise Virginia won't be disappointed. Money back guarantee, even. Pluote? Oh, it's a hybrid. Apricot and plum. Pluote. I ate 3 earlier. Can't seem to get my fill. You might want to grab a few plastic sporks while you're at it. The pluots were extra juicy this year. Plastic? There, over by the napkins. There could be 3 of us. Take as many as you like. Really? Did you just take the whole thing? I can't believe you're full already. Really missing you out. Virginia would love these. Say, you might want to stay here, my friend. Thomas. Tongue. Raskins. The usual? You know me too well, Ginny. I'll have your order right up, Deputy. Sheriff. As of tonight, I run this county. What? So sorry about that. God damn, Ginny. That sure is a sweet ass you got there. Wow, what an asshole, right? I don't know. I mean, come on. You don't really go up to... like, when they hit you with a charge now? Like, I'm gonna call the... I don't know. What do they do now? Like... But I know you can't do that in today's... It's like, listen, I know you're here all by your lonesome tonight. How about we go in the back, give the new sheriff a little taste? God damn. I've told you before, Deputy, I'm not interested. It's Sheriff, and you know what? One of these days I'm not going to ask. Well, that, sir, will have you behind bars in today's day and age. Let me go. Ginny, you can fight this all you want. You and me. It's not going to happen. Where the fuck are the sporks? Guess we're out. Fucking cunt. Stupid bitch just doesn't get it. I'm fucking untouchable now. I'll take what I want when I want. What? Just because he came to sheriff? We'll just see what she has to say after her shift. What the fuck? Naked army ladies? Seriously? Yeah, seriously, where do you get those? I heard they were gonna do army whammons with the you know, because they do the army men. Raging Golden Eagle covered it. They were gonna do the army whammons, the pink army whammons. And I don't know if they're going to do those or not anymore. Because I haven't seen them. Like, you know, I went around the toy section. I don't see them. They said they were going to do them like a couple years. Maybe the Coof kind of pushed them back. But I don't know. The green army weapons ones do look interesting, though. I would probably get some of those and put them all around the bookshelf here. What the hell is wrong with people? Oh, okay. I must be doing this wrong. That fucking whore. That selfish bitch has been teasing me for months, pretending like she don't want the dick. She may have fooled the rest of this town, but deep down, I know she wants a good pounding. Yeah, no doubt that cunt likes it rough. Well, what do you know? Ask and ye shall receive. Thank the gods. I appreciate the ride, officer. Oh, that's why you don't fucking hitchhike with the cops. Sheriff, glad to have you along. I didn't think I'd be stuck out this late. It was getting a little spooky out there. Well, when you hang a tasty rack out like that, no way this guy's gonna pass it up. Yeah. Hungry? They're hot and fresh. Sure, haven't eaten since this morning. But that's not the only thing you'd like to stuff in your mouth. What the fuck, officer? You know, I think I'd like to get out. Right here would be fine. Oh, shit. Stupid roadside whore. I'll let you out when we're done. God damn, this dude, yeah. That, if you talk about, like, what, toxic masculine, like the real, actual fucking toxic douchebag asshole, that would be that guy. Wakey, wakey. Ain't no fun riding the carousel by yourself. Wait, you're a cop. Sheriff. Shripp. Bet you want that donut now, huh, bitch? Please, please, don't do this. Hitching down a dark road. Zip! All by your lonesome. Dressed like that. You kinda got this coming. What the? You licked Virginia. Ah! With your tongue. Ugh. You can't ever take that back. Ever. She'll never forget what you did. Splack. And she had just bathed. Do you know how long it takes Virginia to bathe? And her hair was all fixed up. I hope he didn't bathe her in water. For those of you who don't know, never fucking bathe at all in water. They get what's called a Roman bath, which is usually oil, bathe in oil, and then of course you use the Vaseline, like I said, and then you use the powder if you have to powder. Some dolls don't need to be powdered, so that's usually what's the best for dolls. Oil is, it's great. Get some baby oil. But yeah, water will fuck them up, especially if it gets into the metal skeleton. It will cause it to rust. You know what happens when metal rusts? It's useless. It's over. Okay, I can do this. Huh? I must be doing this wrong. You know, I could help you with that. You'd help me find my Virginia? You promise not to hurt me? Hurt you? Why would you say such a thing? My hands. I'll need my hands. Oh, goodness, I didn't realize. Sorry about this. So, who are we looking for? Well, Thaddeus, it looks like it's official. There hasn't been any sign of the sheriff or her family for over 24 hours. We're in the free and clear. Any word from Mr. Tibbs or Thomas? Sheriff Pratchett missing. No, no word from either. Jim, do you remember the last time we thought we were in the free and clear? That was the day she gave me this, a little reminder to never underestimate anyone. Until we received confirmation from Mr. Tibbs, we assumed nothing. That's one thing, maybe the only thing she ever taught me. Dad, you'd better... I told you to stay in your room, but outside there's something you need to see. Did you hear what I said? What am I saying? Like you ever hear what I have to say. Trey, this had better not be another one of your idiotic frat boy pranks. If it is, I promise there will be hell. Crash! Jim, get everyone outside, now. Oh, wow. Return Virginia, please. Liquor. Wow. Oh, fuck. Is that Thomas? What was it you said, Jim? Free and clear? Take Jim. Tuck him away somewhere until this blows over. And somebody make all this disappear. Wait, no, I can handle this. I can take care of it. Liquor, Jim. Did you not see that? You and Thomas couldn't help yourselves, could you? You had to torture this man. Jim, you're most likely next. If that's the case, I don't want you anywhere near me. I know this is going to sound kind of corny, but I met Virginia online. What? How? Oh, well, yeah, you ordered it from a website. I mean, how else? Look at... Again, it looks so funny with the doll's mouth open. It's just weird. It's like you want to shove a carrot in there or something. It's so bizarre. I mean, I know that they worked really hard with the art, but it's wrong. It's like absolutely 100% wrong. They tried to make it like a blow-up doll. I don't think they really knew much about it. I mean, with all the information we have, and even real doll, like, there's not many that have open mouths. That's just not something that happens anymore for that particular reason. It looks really bizarre. She's beautiful. I wouldn't be the same without her. She changed my life. She saved me. Saved you from what? You know, urges. Oh. And sometimes that is the case with just a few people. Like I said, with PTSD and things like that. Some people do have, you know, tics that they've said dolls have helped them with. And it's being looked into on a psychological level. I know you made like a comic book to, you know, maybe kind of poke fun at the issue or talk about the issue. But yes, psychologists are looking more into this because it is a phenomenon now. There's not enough information yet to prove the psychological benefits of dolls and stuff like that. You can look up the information, the studies. I've looked them up myself. They're inconclusive. There's not enough information for or against. So it's a very interesting situation. Oh. Is that somebody else that hurt Virginia? Who? LaCroix? Oh no, he's just a poor fella that got caught up in the middle of all this. He was minding his own business until Mr. Tibbs involved him. He's just like you. Excuse me? Helping me get my Virginia back. Oh. Say, I need to ask you something personal. You don't have to answer if you don't want. Are you okay? I mean, you seem to be taking everything that's happened tonight pretty well. I know this is going to sound kind of weird, but I think I'm fine. I don't know. Maybe I'm still just processing it all. He was wrong, you know. The deputy, you weren't asking for it. Oh, that. Yeah, I think I'm still processing that, too. Well, you're in luck. This is the end of the line for you. Virginia and I stopped here on the way into town. It's abandoned. There's a mattress inside where we... Never mind. You should be safe this far out of town. Right? Would you mind? Anywhere but here. Would you mind if I stayed with you? You know, help you find Virginia? Are you sure about that, young lady? It could be kind of dangerous. This is a really bad idea, sir. We would be safer at the estate. Calm down. If we learn one thing from last night, it's that Victor, whatever the hell his name is quite cunning. He's not going to confront us in broad daylight, not in front of the sheriff's department. Thaddeus, we need to... Where are they? In the conference room. Well, everyone except LaCroix. No one's seen him since yesterday. By the way, Marge, congratulations. You're the new sheriff. Good. You're all here. I'm going to need everyone's undivided attention. Jesus. Good. You're all paying attention. I take good care of everyone in this room, even their families. Tell me I haven't misplaced my faith. Blah. Not this time. Show Mr. Bellevue what we've got, Simmons. We were able to download these from the security camera at Holes and More. Is that the man that assaulted Trey? Tell me everything. He had waltzed into Holes and More, bought a dozen donuts. Ginny said he was exceptionally pleasant, paid cash, and traipsed away without a care in the world. He didn't seem to mind the cameras one bit. We found out why. Marge and I ran the photo through local, state, and federal facial recognition and re-ran the fingerprints Thomas had through every available database. The payoff? Zilch. It's almost like this guy doesn't exist. Crumple. You're kidding me, right? All you have to show me is a photo of a man I've already met? Thomas has his head in a freezer bag, and he's still more useful than a lot of you. Maybe I should make him acting sheriff. Sir, I may have... Put your hand down, college boy. No, let him speak. Can't be any worse than what the rest of you have come up with. Sir, I know this is going to sound ridiculous, but have you ever watched the TV show Still at Large? Not something I'm familiar with. Well, sir, there was this particular episode about a serial killer. I believe they called him the Baggy Man. His MO was chopping the heads off victims and leaving them in Ziploc baggies. The only evidence they ever found was the heads. No bodies, no DNA, no fingerprints, no nothing. The FBI tracked him for 8 years over 19 states and were getting close when all of a sudden, about 10 years ago, the murders just stopped. Seriously? I didn't think of it until I saw Deputy James Jansen's head. MO seems identical, sir, don't you think? None of you sleep until you bring me a name to match that picture, understood? I need his name. Edwin. My name's Edwin. Well, Edwin, it's nice to meet you. I'm Gwen. So, now what? Sleep. I'll have my talk with Jim once it gets dark. But what if somebody finds us? No need to worry. LaCroix and my mom will keep an eye out. Your mom? Yeah, my mom. She rises and falls with the sun. We'll be okay. Four. Then it's just the eyes. Ha 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 ha. A pair of threes? You bet $400 on a pair of threes? You must be a fucking retard. Edwin, you sure about all this? Yeah. But it sounds like there's at least 3 guys in there. Against just the 2 of us? 2? Oh no, Virginia would be furious if I involved you in this. Gwen, I need you to promise me something. If I'm not back in 30 minutes, you have to leave this town and never look back. Promise? Okay. Come on, you pussy. Call Rays or tuck tail. Stop being such a fag, John. God damn it, I fucking fold. Are you sure you don't suck dick? Ha 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 ha. Jim, what's the bet? $600. Well then, boys, I'm all clack, son of a bitch. You folded, queer bait. Get that sweet ass of yours downstairs. What's all this fucking shit? Damn it, John. Just check the fuse box. All of you, you fucking assholes. What the? Jesus. What kind of fucked up shit is this? Schlack. Explosive. Plastic? Simtex H. Wow. Clock. About goddamn time. Now, where were we? All right, I'm all... Thrash. Holy fuck. It says potty mouth, by the way. Clack. What the hell, Jim? It's the guy. It's got to be him. You guys got to protect me. You got to flush him out. Look, Jim, lock the basement door. He'll have to come outside. We'll take the front. I'll go out back. Fuck. Kyle. Blam, blam. Guys, did you get him? You should have left us alone. Thunk. John? It says bigot. Wow. Interesting. Fuck. Somebody help me. I apologize. I don't normally tire so easily. Please, please don't kill me. I'll do anything. Don't kill me. Where's Virginia? Thaddeus has her. I'll help get her back. I'll help you get her back. Anything you ask. Did you touch her? No, I swear. I only moved her when Thaddeus told me to. Then it's just the eyes. The eyes? You looked up Virginia's skirt. I can't allow that to pass. Holy shit. Cannot say whether some doll owners are this freaked out, but I do know that TFM said one time that if somebody had broken into his home and had basically what he considered raped Celestina, he would be very, very, very upset. He'd be really torn. He would consider it like rape. Like he said, somebody raped my wife. I mean, that's how he would feel. He'd be really, really upset. So, yeah, it is pretty big deal to doll owners. Come on, man. We were just joking around. You're really not going to kill me over a doll, right? A doll? Edwin. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to... Gwen? How long have you... Did you see... Oh, no. It's okay, Edwin. I understand. You're doing all this for Virginia. No, Virginia would never approve of any of this. She'd leave me. At least he's right. No, Edwin, she'd understand. I don't know about that. Gwen, take the car. Let's leave this place. I don't want your help anymore. Oh, Gwen, take the car. Leave this place. I don't want your help anymore. There we go. A little better. Please, let me help you finish this, Edwin. I promise from now on I'll do everything you say. LaCroix, what do you think? Really? I don't see it. Wait, what do you say? Doesn't matter. I can't ask Mom. She's still asleep. You'll do everything I say. I need your word. Absolutely, everything you say. Okay, then, I'm going back in that cabin by myself. If you want to keep helping me find Virginia, you stay put. After I'm done in there, I've decided we're going to change things up a bit. Marge, that lazy shit over at the Pump and Pay wouldn't give up squat. Told me he'd had enough of Bellevue. Told me Bellevue could go have sex with myself. Okay. Yeah, they said it a different way, but the sentiment was the same over at Mixed Emotions. They're sick of Bellevue's cronies harassing them all the time. Said he and the department had best watch their step. Yes. Dead fish. Clack. Clack. There we go. Well, there's a love-hate thing going on over at Freezy B's Emporium. They hate Bellevue, but they're not sure they want the guy to go. His men bring in too much business. Sheriff, let's call this off. There's no sign of the guy anywhere. I bet my next paycheck he's already left town by now. He's got to know he's overmatched. Bzz, bzz, bzz. God damn it, Trey. Where the hell are you? I told you to stay in the house for a fucking reason. Hello? I want Virginia back. Yeah, he's sitting right here in front of me. 2 hours at the warehouse where you took Virginia. I wouldn't be late if I were you. He agreed. Edwin, there's no way Bellevue's going to let you live. You know that, right? Yeah, I know. But my car's got a big trunk. I mean, really big. Don't worry, sir. With this many guns, there's no way he gets close to you. A paddle? Plastic makes everything better. Scritch, scritch, scritch. Huh? Pluot. Half plum, half apricot. Not a scratch, understand? My son may not be perfect, but he's a Bellevue. Get him to safety, then make this man disappear. Do you mind if we save 2 of those for Virginia? LaCroix, could you help? LaCroix, you could help? There we go. We're here, sir. Say, where'd we put the rest of that rap? This is a good plan, Edwin. I just want Virginia back. Bring the doll. Everyone in place? Yes, sir. Remember, my son, not a scratch. Oh, wow. Look at these naked army. Like, these are actually would be in demand. People would buy these. I'm just telling you right now. I don't know why I didn't make a whole bunch of them. Where's Virginia? Five. Buckle up, Virginia. Virginia. Do as he says. Bring her in. Oh, wow. There she is. I'm afraid we may have gotten off on the wrong foot. I took something that belonged to you, and you lied to me. I'd like to know who I'm really dealing with. I didn't lie. You never asked. My name is Edwin. Well then, Edwin, how shall we proceed? You bring me Virginia. I give you this and your boy. You heard the man. Thaddeus. I said you. All this over a woman? Have you ever been in love, Mr. Bellevue? I mean, true love, the kind that changes a man, the kind that makes a man stronger than he thought he could ever be? I would happily give my life to keep Virginia safe, keep her happy. Have you ever loved anyone like that, Mr. Bellevue? The detonator. You have Virginia, and I have my son. This is over, yes? Seems fair. Edwin, one more thing. I'd like to thank you. You've done me a great service, Edwin. You showed me the weaknesses in my organization. If you hadn't exposed them, somebody eventually would have. Jim and Thomas, although good friends, they had grown complacent, comfortable, traits not well suited to my business. It was time to thin the herd, make the livestock strong again. You may be on the odd side of things, Edwin, but you've got grit. I respect that. That's why it's such a shame I can't let you live. You could have been a valuable talent for me. Whoosh! No, kill him! See, I told you it'd work. Thack! Squee! Edwin! Edwin, get in the boat. You'll die up in there. Blam, blam, blam. You sons of bitches. Sir, he's got... I can see that. Get out of here. Tell everyone to take cover. Hand her to me. We don't have much time. Edwin, be gentle. Get in the boat, Edwin. Now. 3, 2, click. That lying bastard. I'm sorry, Virginia. I'm sorry. Shh, don't say such things. No. You can't leave me. I won't let you. I hope you're close, you asshole. Click. Badoom! Scritch, scritch, scritch. Quit fidgeting. Scritch, scritch, scritch. Geez, you're making more of a fuss than Virginia. Edwin, plastic wrap won't be enough this time. We need to get you to a hospital. It's too late for that. Scritch, scritch. Gwen, Virginia and I aren't going to make it. Don't say that. Don't you dare say that. I'm taking you to the hospital. Just think. They probably have donuts there, Edwin. Maybe even Virginia's favorite. Stop. It's over. Edwin, please, no. You can't die on me. You're the only person that's ever treated me with respect. Gwen, please, there's just one thing in my life I can't live without. It's the same thing I'm willing to die for. It wouldn't be fair to take that away from me. So you're just going to let that asshole Bellevue win? Oh, I didn't say that. He hurt Virginia. Nobody hurts Virginia. Oh, shit, he's got the plastic bombs. This is everything I can fit in here. Food, money, a cleaning brush. You should be good for a couple days. Now remember to be careful who you accept rides from this time. It's dangerous out there. The world's filled with people that don't always behave themselves. You've given me too much. No, Gwen, I owe you everything. Without you, I never would have seen my sweet Virginia again. I'll never forget you, Edwin. You, Virginia, LaCroix. I'll never forget. Thank you. Thank you for saving me. Gwen, Don't say another word. Not another word, Edwin. My, that sure was a sweet girl. Kind of makes me wish we could have had kids. LaCroix, Mom, I can't let you continue with us past this point. You've both done enough. Plus, somebody's got to stick around to tell the true story. No sense arguing with me, Mom. I've made up my mind. You know what? Oh, wow. You two might just make a good couple. Maybe LaCroix. Just maybe you could finally make an honest woman of my mother. Wow, what was his mother? Say, wouldn't that be something? Oh my. Virginia, do you see? You're right, sweetie. It is. What's that? Indeed. It is the perfect one. I've never lied to you, Virginia, and I won't start now. What's about to happen? It won't be pleasant. You've always been a trooper, always stronger than me. You better buckle up, Virginia. Of all the... God damn it. Clack. Dad, Trey, before you do this, I need to tell you something. I haven't been a good father. Somewhere along the way, I forgot what the term even meant. Instead of nurturing you, instead of showing you compassion, all I did was belittle and humiliate you. What kind of father does that to his own flesh and blood? If it's possible, if it's not too late, I'd like us to start over. I'd like to try being a good father. Believe it or not, Trey, I do love you. Dad, I know, Trey. I should have said these things years ago. I should have... Dad? Oh, shit. Wow. Holy crap. Thoom. Wow. Sheriff and family found alive. New Orleans. Sweet. Hey, hon, I'm not going all the way to New Orleans, but I can get you about halfway. Much appreciated. My pleasure, dear. I'm kind of tired of talking to myself. Could use the company. By the way, I go by Maggie. Nice to meet you, Maggie. I'm Virginia. Interesting. The end. Well, Plastic Factory, or peek into the creative process. Okay, here we go. Issue 1 cover. So he and the doll basically used plastic explosive and killed LaCroix, not LaCroix, but Bellevue. And the girl met another girl by Virginia. You know what was weird? Donut Girl that looked just like Virginia. Like when I first read this, maybe I thought that he had found her or something. And he found, yeah, I remember the first time I read this. Maybe it was me, I don't know, imagining shit. I don't know. But I remember the first time I read this, like the killer character, Edwin, he actually got with the Donut Girl. Like, I remember that. He basically was like, oh, what's your name? And he said, oh, my name's Virginia. And it looked just like the doll. And he decided to go with her instead of the doll. But that's not how it happened. I guess it was so long ago, my memory was kind of clouded a little bit. Sometimes you read a lot of comics and you forget how they go. But I was really upset about that. Then I realized maybe I was just half asleep and didn't realize what was actually going on with the book. But now I know. He and her basically killed themselves and destroyed Bellevue, who was a corrupt bastard in the process. We don't really know if he was actually true with his own son. Like, I don't trust that guy. But, you know, he's gone now, and the whole corruption in that area is pretty much destroyed with him. So, I mean, it's interesting. I like the story they put into it. It's really kind of bizarre. You know what, though? I'll say one thing about this, and I'm going to be honest. The doll wasn't actually, focused on that much. Like, it's called Plastic, but it was more about him getting the doll back than actually being with the doll. Like, there wasn't a whole lot of doll-based stuff. And, of course, he talked to the dead cop, and, like, that was kind of, more schizophrenia, some kind of psychological thing going on with his head. And that's not why all doll owners get their dolls. A lot of doll owners, like I said, for those reasons, maybe there's a simple fact of, like how Phil puts it, they don't give you any crap. You don't have to worry about the bullshit. And Phil's been with all kinds of women. Same thing with J Doll. He's been with all kinds of women. They don't want to deal with the crap. They don't want to deal with all the money you spend on dates, and then you got to buy them this and buy them that. And even if they make their own money now, which they do, they still want more stuff. And they want your attention all the time, and then they bitch at you for this and that. And it's just a lot easier to have something that looks nice, that you can talk to every once in a while, even if it's, we know it's not real. But it's just better to kind of have that and not deal with the bullshit. And I think it'll just continue as we go into the VR, where the little glasses that you can put on that they kickstarted. Like, that's going to start a whole new wave of this shit, where people just have their little waifus or whatever they call them right there in their glasses. Like, oh yeah, how you doing? And it'll interact with you, and that'll be okay, I guess, for some people. But some people might not even want that. Like, there's some people that want less technology in them, not more. They just want it to be a doll. Like, that's what Phil said. I don't want it to talk, is what he said. I don't want it to argue with it and all that kind of thing. I just want it to be there and be a doll. And some guys are just like that. So, it's whatever. Issue 2, Andrew Robinson again. Alright. Moist. Andrew Robinson again. And number 5, of course. I know why they left it open, you know, but it's not supposed to be open. The Deadhead covers Potty Mouth. Scribbles. Cat Lady. Comic Sans. Biker Dust. Oh, so these are all the people that worked on the book. So the first one would be, yeah, Hilliard. And of course, there's Scribbles. That's the guy who wrote it. Yeah. Oh no, that's the guy who drew it. So Hilliard's the guy that drew her with the mouth open, which is really bizarre. Variant covers. Got the Image blind box variant. I actually like that cover a lot better. The doll looks shocked though. I love how they did that. Second print, Robinson. Second print. Man, this guy he's pretty crazy. I like that one. Doll weddings, very rare. A lot of guys like, why am I going to spend thousands of dollars on a wedding? Like, they might do the dress and thing, but it won't be a ceremony. Like, yeah, they're not going to spend all that money. It's ridiculous to waste all that money on a wedding of a doll or something. You can't even marry an object. I actually looked that up online. You can own an object, but you can't marry an object. It's the most bizarre. Well, it's not bizarre if you're a logical thinker and you're like, maybe I don't want to marry a piece of plastic. It's kind of weird, but there's a lot of Japanese people that marry, like, everything. All kinds of waifus and, you know, the fictosexual thing and all that. So, yeah. Then you got this. Yep, of course, him with that saw. April Fool's variant. Oh, yeah, I like that one. It's a Spawn. Yeah, I noticed it. Because, yeah, we were reading Spawn and definitely love that look. Oh, story and script. There we go. Doug Wagner and Daniel Hilliard. Okay. Well, I guess this whole thing begins with me. As I'm sure you can imagine, I get what's your process question a lot. Fair warning, my process is a bit complicated and you might find your eyes glossing over. It's a process I found works for me. I break writing down into several stages, especially when it comes to plastic. I wanted this to be the best work I've written to date, so I slowed my process down a bit to give myself time to let things stew as I wrote it. I started with an overall plot, basically 5 pages of prose-style plotting. Then I moved on to an issue-by-issue breakdown, followed by page-by-page breakdown. Well, the breakdowns, this helps me focus on issue breaks first and then page turns. After that, I dive right into script. Over the years, I've adapted Dark Horse Comics scripting guidelines into something I feel works for me, and more importantly, my fellow collaborators. No template here. I've typed in this style for so long that my fingers tap the keys without me even thinking about it. True. Okay, well, he'll do the panel. Oh, I see this now. The panel, and that's going to be in the first bubble. That'll be in the second bubble. There's the second panel. Okay, with your tongue. Okay. Oh, okay. And they actually describe. I like how he writes. This is so much easier than I have seen it. And then, of course, we have a description of the panel here. Close-up of Gwen's terrified face. She can do nothing more than watch in horror. Well, we cannot see. It's very good. Close-up of Gwen as blood splatters across her face. Close up. I mean, and it's not hard. You can kind of tell what it needs to look like. If you're working with an artist on the internet, which I have done, it's not always 100%, but it's good enough. Like basically, like when you're imagining this scene, like the close up of Gwen as blood splatters across her face, that might seem to be at first like, oh, you have an idea of what it's going to look like, but you don't really know your background and stuff, and that's where the artist comes in. And he'll say, well, what about this? And he'll do this. He'll just draw something up, and you're like, oh, yeah, that'll work. And, then you'll work together, and you'll get that. And then there's, like, close-up of Gwen, no sputtering blood. And make that a point where there's no blood there, so then you have to take the blood away. And then there's a close-up of one last gush of blood sprays across her face. And there's a sound effects, like that. So... okay, I like this. Close-up of Gwen's terrified face. No more gushing blood. The attack is over. Okay, that makes sense. And that's one page of the book. So, there you go. That looks very interesting. I like how that's done. Not too hard. With page 6, I wanted to mix this horrific scene with Edwin's dialogue being slightly comical and yet still playing on the sexual assault theme. I was hoping the audience would feel that Edwin felt just as violated as Gwen does, but in his own weird and twisted way. Writing something that deals with such serious overtones is always a scary and delicate thing. I don't want anyone to feel like I was taking the subject matter too lightly, but at the same time I didn't want to be too heavy-handed about it either. Yet the scene still scares me when I look at it. I just hope I did more good than harm. I mean, we did understand the asshole police officer, that picked up the woman and, basically was going to have his way with her and the girl at the donut shop. It's absolutely fucking nuts. Well, he wasn't necessarily a police officer, he was a fucking sheriff. So, yeah, absolute asshole. Page 7 was a tough one. Daniel and I spent quite a bit of time discussing whether we should show what Edwin was doing or focus on Gwen as a victim of the whole scene. At the end of the day, we both went with our gut. Let's not show Edwin hacking it up this time and leave it to the reader's twisted imagination. You guys probably imagined a more disgusting scene than we could have pulled off anyway. Yeah, if you're reading this, we know just how sick in the head you are. Doug Pottymouth Wagner. Page 6. Okay. Okay, you look Virginia. And, of course, they're describing the scene. It's not like Alan Moore, where he's writing like 5 paragraphs to describe one fucking panel. I remember reading that shit. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And, like, the color yellow was like of a serial killer. It's just, like, what? That's why The Killing Joke is such a beautiful looking book, because the artist was pained in these 5 paragraph depictions of what one panel should look like. And we'll never fucking get that again, because it's just immense to what was required from Alan. Wow, okay, look at this. You know how long it takes Virginia to bathe? No sputtering blood. Okay, yep. Hey, there's your layouts. Okay. And again, these are just really cheap. You work with any artist, they're going to do a mock-up for you. It's like, what do you think of that? It's like, oh yeah, that's alright. I can do with that. As you see, it gets to the point. Obviously, you're not going to do something that basic unless it's like a little webcomic cartoon thing. But even those they're kind of complex these days. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have blood on the face there. Yep. Almost looks like an anime character. Yay, process stuff. I love making of sections, don't you? Like Doug said, there was a bit of back and forth as to which way we wanted to go. Working in Ruff's first, we get a sneak peek at how it's going to shape up before pouring our hearts and souls into it. At least that way, if we do change our minds, it's not too much fuss. Everyone works a little differently when it comes to laying out a page. I start with the panel borders first, deciding where the most room is needed and whether something is better suited to landscape or portrait, and work around that. I add the balloons as placeholders just to make sure the dialogue will fit okay. That way Mr. Ed Dukeshire won't want to kill me later, hopefully. Once everybody has had a look at the scribbles and we're all happy, it's time to pencil them up. Pencils, pencils, pencils. Here I blow up the rough layouts to full size and then draw directly over the top. Pencil's finished, I send it out for everyone to take another look, provided everybody's happy. It's time to ink. Everything's done in pencil and then ink. Of course, it's a completely different process now. Everything's pretty much digital. I try to keep it pretty clean, working with the thickest lines first before moving through the lighter, smaller strokes. Ta-da! Or ta-da! After a final check-in with everyone, it's off to Ed and Laura with cherries on top for them to add their awesomeness to the mix. Daniel Scribbles Hilliard. Here's your penciling. Look at that. See how that's different from the mock-up? Of course, we see the blood splatter. Just as described. Then we have the inking. You see the really changes. Almost like a manga. It's usually what manga is. They just ink. They don't do the coloring. They just ink it, and there you go. Much faster. That's why they can produce these massive manga volumes. A manga volume will have like hundreds of pages, 200. Some of these really, really long mangas. And, you know, a comic book volume will be about the size of one manga chapter. Just crazy. Well, I mean, well, I don't know, because the manga volumes are kind of cheap compared to comic volumes, which are about $30. Mangas are like $7 or $8. They're not that expensive. Colors. As with all new books, I like to get a feel for the artwork and themes and the settings in the story before I start coloring. Early on, Doug and I talked about this ugly, gritty swampland where the bizarre characters live and kill. I knew I wanted a dull, icky color palette over the whole series. Daniel's artwork is crisp and edgy, so I chose a similar rendering style, clean, angular animation cell-style coloring. But it was too clean. I needed to dirty this stuff up a bit. I took a lesson from Adam Hughes and aged the paper by tinting the borders and adding a sandy texture to every page. The only place for the texture where that texture is not present is on Virginia. In Edwin's eyes, she is pristine. Oh. I was pretty comfortable with this direction by the time we got to issue 3, so after sending the pages out to my life-saving assistants to do the initial flatting, breaking down each shape into a different color. I didn't know that. I went through and added in the bone-colored borders and the texture layers, and then sorted out the color schemes for each scene. This is a scary, claustrophobic scene in the middle of a swamp at night. I definitely didn't want to make the sky blue. That would make the scene feel cooler than it should be. So I used a dull purple to salmon color at the horizon, and the dull purple is reflected in the character's skin tones. Blue is limited to Edwin's shirt and Gwen's aqua-colored tee to play on the reader's subconscious. These are the good guys, innocent Gwen and her anti-hero coming to her rescue. Gwen's hair color identifies her as a stranger in a strange land. Everything else was rendered in grays and browns and tans, and the only light source was a harsh yellowish white dome light. By the time I got through the scene, I had to ask Doug, how many more interiors of cars do I have to color? It's not the easiest setting to color, I assure you. As I worked on pages, I sent batches of low-resolution JPEGs to the team to see what they thought. They were very few corrections. Most of them were me changing my mind about stuff. It all worked out very smoothly, other than my tendency to push the deadline to the last minute. Laura Catlady Martin. Okay, here's the flats. A little different, right? They don't look completely polished. And there's the final. Look at that. Look how much the shading changes everything. Like the flats look like a really low budget comic. You know, I've seen comics that look like this. I don't have a problem with art like that. I know some people can only do what they can. And I have no issue reading art that looks like that. I have no issue. As long as I get the story and it looks good and I can get the idea of what the characters are feeling here. Like, you can see that. Doesn't have to be like this, which is fantastic. But not everybody has the money and the assets and the people to do this. And I completely respect that. You licked Virginia. She'll never forget what you did. There's the lettering. When a new book lands in front of me, I like to look at it. I like to look at as many pages as possible before I decide how to approach it when choosing a font or balloon style. Luckily, Luckily, I've been lettering over Daniel's stuff for quite some time, so that decision was made years ago. I typically letter over black and white line art in an honest S-effects heavy book. Yeah, it was sound effects heavy. It can be a challenge for determining which colors to go with. Most of the time, I'm pretty good with choices, but for plastic, once I saw Laura's beautiful coloring style, I had to change them all up to match the tone she went with. Plastic is the first book that allowed me to really push my mouse drawing abilities on balloons and squiggly tails. Doug loves putting his characters into painful situations, and I have to bring all that out to make you feel what they feel. Ed Comic Sans Dukeshire. Dukeshire, I've been saying with Dukeshire. There's the prelim. The prelim, that's how it started, that's how it finished. It's very interesting. That's how a comic book is made, folks. You gotta have respect for the art. They can't always look like manga. This is manga. This is a comic book. I respect manga. It's not my thing. I get it. I know you love your black and white. But I like my color. I just do. And I know people have said to read manhwa. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll check out the manhwas if they have, you know, the color. I like the color. Okay, so there you go. 12gaugecomics.com. Retired serial killer Edwin Stoffgruppen. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that last name. Is in love with Virginia, a girl he met online. Her affection quiets with his vile urges. Together they tour the back roads of America in their LTD, eating donuts and enjoying their healthy appetites for each other. Life is good, until a Louisiana billionaire kidnaps Virginia, forcing Edwin to kill again in exchange for her freedom. Oh, and did we mention that Virginia is a sex doll? She's a love doll. Plastic is the most inventive and enjoyable serial killer story in years. 5 out of 5. James First. Oh, I'm not worried about these people. Yeah, I give it maybe an 8. I mean, I like the blood and everything else, but there's really not a whole lot with the doll. Like, it's like, oh, I gotta get my doll back, but we don't really get to see that much. Like, we don't get to find out how he bought the, you know, where he met this doll online or any of this stuff. Like, I'm interested. I want to know. You know, it's interesting. So, you know, I mean, not the best depiction of doll owners. We're not that crazy. Some of us are, but, you know, it's very rare in the doll community. Most people are just like you and me. Well, you know, maybe not so much me, but many people are just like, you know, regular old people. They just have a doll. You know, it's not really that big of a deal anymore. I mean, it's going to be more men because men can lift them. They're very, very heavy. Most women have problems lifting that much weight, and they are very heavy. So that is one issue that women have when buying dolls. So more men are getting them and have them and enjoy them and dress them up on Instagram. Things have changed. There's so many dolls. I can't even believe it. Every time I go to check my doll's Instagram page at Zexy's Alien Hands on Instagram, I notice there's more and more dolls. I'm like, my God, where are they all coming from? It's really getting crazy, guys. There's a lot more dolls, and I don't know if the people that actually made this are looking at it, but yeah, there's a lot more dolls now than 2017. 2022 brought us a lot of dolls. It only took like, let's see, 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah, about, oh God, it's been that long? Shit. About 6 years, right? 6 years we've had a massive surge in dolls. I guess the pandemic had something to do with that too, right? At any rate, you can pick this up at imagecomics.com as well as several other great titles. And Image love their DRM-free books. They love DRM-free. We should be thanking them for making DRM-free books. Spawn is DRM-free right now. Isn't that cool? You can't get Batman. You can't get Superman. But you can get Spawn DRM-free. And I don't know about y'all, but I always thought Spawn was a little cooler than, you know, I liked Batman. But I like Spawn more than I like Superman. And there's a lot of other stories that you can get DRM-free. I know, you know, some are woke or whatever, but, you know, some are good, and, I mean, it just depends on what you like. There's something for everybody. I mean, Image just didn't go completely 100% woke. I mean, there's everything. There's different kinds of comics on there for everybody. You'll find something. I wouldn't consider this one woke at all. Just kind of, regular. I mean, nothing about this seemed too much. I mean, police officers and sheriffs can be absolute fucking dicks, and they do shit, and they do try to push their authority onto people and women and stuff like that. It happens. And I like the way that dude felt about women. Yes, he was a fucking serial killer, but he was like, hey, did he try to touch you and do all that kind of shit? He's like, I'm not with all that, I mean, yeah, he's crazy, fucking killed people. But he didn't even like it when you say, I mean, I get the potty mouth right now. I would get the potty mouth bag, I'd probably get the, I don't know, there was one that was bigot. I don't know what that was about. There's one that was, there's one that was bigot. There was one that was, what was the other one? There's one that was I don't know what moist was. That was bizarre. I don't know what that could have possibly been. But, there was one on there that, what did he do? He took the Lord's name in vain or something like that. And I think it was maybe I don't know if he's a blasphemer or whatever, but he wasn't supposed to say that. He's like, hey, Virginia doesn't appreciate that. So, yeah, I'd probably get my head in that bag. I don't know. It would have been interesting to see this story take place now where there's more doll owners and dolls around, and dolls have better designs. You have to wonder, would he have upgraded Virginia? Like, if Virginia there's a better model of Virginia that looked better, like, held out longer, They could probably get the money from those, like, billionaire guys. You could buy, like, a whole army of Virginias if you wanted to. Now, I mean, they're not hard to find at the-doll-house.com. Pretty sure you can find your own Virginia, or whatever states are named after women. Dakota, no, that's more of a dude's name. I don't know. I mean, no. But yeah, there you go. And of course, it happens in the South. A lot of doll owners in the South. Not as many as you think, but more than there used to be. I'm one of them. At any rate, this is the Grim Lord, and I thank you for joining us on Grim's Comic Corner, and I am out of here. See you next time.